everyone, so this episode is going to be on vegan supermarket products in France. It may vary depending on your region. I am in the more Paris region, so maybe it is possible that we have a couple products here that you might not have elsewhere, but maybe you will also have products elsewhere that you don't have here. I'm making this video because someone suggested to me to make a video about my favourite French foods, but I thought this was something important to address, that it is completely possible to be vegan in France and vegan very easily in France. And when people first found out that I was going to be travelling here every other week to see my boyfriend, they were like, oh, the food situation is going to be really bad for you because they don't really do even vegetarian in France. How are you going to do vegan? And it is true that it's very different from in the UK and maybe some places in America. But actually in terms of products, they are catching up very quickly, and I often find that I have more exciting things to eat here in France than I do home in the UK. So yeah, the things I'm going to show you today are just things that I happen to have in the flat at the moment. They are not the only products that you can find. They are not the products I've only ever tried. This is just some examples of some foods that you might want to buy if you're coming here on holiday and you have self-catering or whatever. Some of these things you can eat on the go if you don't have a kitchen. I'm just going to get on with it. First thing to say, everything here that I'm going to show you, I think, was all from one supermarket, so you don't really need to shop around different places. And the first massive point I want to make is that normal products, pasta, rice, crisps, are all, there's no reason. I always thought, in France they'll be adding just extra animal products in just to piss people off, because that's what they seem to be so against, vegetarianism and stuff like that. But normal stuff like pasta, rice, just two different types of bags of crisps here that I have, they are vegan. Normally if something is vegan in the UK or vegan where you come from, some ketchup, it probably will be vegan here as well. Don't forget that you don't need any of these fancy products to be vegan. There's wide varieties of widely available high quality fresh fruits, fresh vegetables that you can buy here easily and quite cheaply. And there's of course the whole range of cooking things that you might need. Of course they sell flour here, they sell baking soda here, they sell oil here. They really do have normal things so that you can make recipes from scratch, although I understand people don't want to. And I just have some examples, like I don't eat this kind of thing, but my boyfriend eats a lot of like jarred vegetables or like tinned veg. Don't forget you can eat this stuff, and it is normally vegan. Obviously just check the backs, use your common sense, but don't forget about all those products. For some reason I was very surprised to see pasta in French supermarkets. I don't know why. I seemed to have this idea in my mind that French people don't eat pasta. I guess that's what happens when you take GCSE French at school. Next point I want to make is, if you buy a product in the UK, like a branded product in the UK, and it just happens to be vegan, and they sell it in France, it probably will be made in the same factory and will probably be vegan here too. So an example of what I have is these Belvita chocolate and hazelnut biscuits. They sell these in the UK and they are accidentally vegan. They also sell these here and they are still accidentally vegan here. And they just come in, a little packet. Very nice if you're traveling. So that's Belvita, whatever it's called. Yep, right, let's get on to this massive things in front of me. Okay, you can buy these little pots of basically pureed apple. They're very nice to have for like breakfast, or you can have them as like a dessert after a meal. It's like smooth, it's like baby food. It's like a smooth apple thing and it's really nice. And they also do a variety with strawberry, which are really nice. I love these so much. And they also do them with pear and other sorts of fruits. And I've not seen these ever in the UK, so if you're staying at a hotel and your hotel breakfast is really crap, maybe you want to pop to a supermarket and just buy, they come in packs of, these came in pack of 4 and these come in pack of 8, and they're widely available and they're really nice. Continuing with the pot theme, as in food is in pots, In France, you'll find that yogurt is a massive deal here. And of course, they sell soya yogurt, which to me was amazing when I first came here. Yes, I am wearing some absolutely tacky French jumper that I got from Primark. I love these kinds of things. Yeah. So you will find pretty much in most French supermarkets, and in the yogurt section, they do sell soya yogurt. Some supermarkets actually have their own brands of soya yogurt. It's so popular here. The main brand you're going to be looking for is Soja Sun, I guess, but I call it Soya Sun. So they do this yogurt, which is passion fruit and raspberry, and this is smooth. It doesn't have any bits in it. If you're like that kind of, you don't like that kind of thing like I do, this is my favorite one. They also have blueberry one. They also have a lemon one, I think, as well, and a plain one. Then they have Soya Sun chocolate yogurt dessert thing, which if you've had the Tesco chocolate soya dessert, I'm convinced that it is the same product. Like even the pot is the same as the Tesco free from chocolate dessert. So those are really, really nice. If you don't, for whatever reason, you don't like these chocolate ones, Monoprix, which is a supermarket here, I'll put how you spell it just here. It's Monoprix, it's not Monoprix, okay? It's Monoprix, okay? They do their own brand of chocolate soya dessert, which does taste different. I still like it, but if you don't like this one, maybe try the other one. Then they also have, I don't have the packaging for this, but this is a vanilla dessert. But my boyfriend eats these. I'm not so keen, but if you like vanilla desserts, you can totally buy them. Found them loads of places. To continue with the Soya Sun theme, they do seem to be the major company here that's doing kind of soya products. I have actually seen big adverts for them recently on the metro, which is really cool that they have these massive signs that, you know, thousands of people are seeing every day that's promoting vegan products. It's really awesome. They do have like a big range of vegan products, but they're not always available everywhere. These are the ones that are mostly available, which are soya burgers, which are vegan, obviously. There is a fourth one that I'm missing. So you have this one, which I think is pronounced something like Finazerb, okay? This one is the closest thing to just like a general meat substitute. This has like a very kind of versatile flavour. You can have it as a burger. How you're supposed to cook it is you're supposed to cook it in a pan with some oil. They're not frozen, they're from like the fresh section. But I imagine if you don't have a hob, I imagine you could put this in the oven. I imagine you could just microwave this. I imagine you could eat this raw if you wanted to. Like, I really think this is versatile. If you don't want to have it as a burger in a bun, you can have it with pasta. You can chop it into little pieces and make it into a mince and put some tomato pasta sauce with it, make a bolognese, yeah, awesome things. Cut it into little cubes and bake it with vegetables, whatever you want to do. So you've got Finna's herb one, which is like kind of just generic meaty flavour, I suppose. Then you've got the Indian one, which is more kind of spicy, more suited to having with your rice dishes or with stir fries. It's not my favourite, but yeah. Then you have tomato basilic. I don't know, awful. This one does have quite a strong tomato flavour, so if you are just eating it on its own, it has a bit more flavour than the Finzerb one. But yeah, and then there is another one which is called like Petit Legume or something like that, and that's just got little vegetables in it, I think. And that one's really nice, but I just haven't got it here. What else can I show? You do occasionally find kind of tofu burger things at supermarkets, and you can find normal tofu at supermarkets, normally in the kind of like organic section, so you can do that and put your own flavourings on the tofu. This one is some kind of mushroom flavour Chinesey thing. I don't know, my boyfriend said he didn't like it. But they seem to be always coming out. There's always a random new vegan product. They seem to be really, you know, there's always new products coming around. So that's just an example of one. If you do live near or go to any kind of like health food store, you will find just tons of different types of flavoured tofu, tofu burgers, stuffed pasta with tofu in it, tofu pasta in jars, all sorts of things. So do check those out. They will probably have vegan stuff. And also if you're near Paris, there's actually a vegan shop in Paris, which I've never been to because I'm a terrible human who's very lazy. Okay, other things that you can eat. Mashed potato. Most mashed potato, even in the UK, has milk and butter in it. This one just happens not to. It's microwave mashed potato. It's really, really good. So that's the brand of that. This was from Monoprix. I think it was a bit more expensive than the generic type, but good if you're really lazy. Also there is gnocchi. Obviously sometimes gnocchi has eggs and stuff in it, but this type doesn't. So you can find that in some supermarkets. Well, the tower's getting a bit big now. Then don't forget stuff like prepared salads. This is carotte râpée. Okay, this is a French kind of thing, and the best way to describe it is it's like coleslaw without the mayo. It's basically grated carrots with like a kind of vinaigrette on it, and this one is obviously Monoprix's own brand, but there's several brands who make this. So if you're just out in Paris doing some sightseeing and you want to have a snack, this is vegan as far as I can tell. Just other products I have. This is some vegan pesto. We do have a vegan pesto in the UK by Sacla, but this is actually a different mix of things because this one is organic and it's got some kind of thing in it. But this is really nice. You can find this in like a kind of free from section or the kind of organic section of your supermarket. So you can have that with some pasta. Then this is something that I've not tried yet, but just a reminder to look at kind of the Asian ready mixes and stuff. My boyfriend bought this, some kind of instant noodle thing that you can cook in a pan. And that's all of the products that I have. But yeah, anything that I've shown you here, do check for yourself that it's vegan. As far as I can tell, it is, but they're always changing the ingredients and sometimes there's little sneaky things. But as far as I can tell, they are vegan. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave me a comment below. I will make more if people like this kind of vegan supermarket find thing. And yes, I do make videos on this channel about learning French, about traveling to France and other things. So if you like that, then maybe you want to subscribe. Okay, goodbye, see you soon.